Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
So here we are on episode 9 of your favorite car series, Racing with Celebs. Thank you for joining us again on this auspicious occasion as we put our favorite celebrities through their paces. Let's kick off our show with the word of the day. Today, we drew doped or dope, commonly used word in drag racing if the car is using nitros or propane injection on diesels. My name is Donovan Clyde, and be sure that we have put a dope show together for you today. It is time to buckle up, sit back, start your engine, and make sure you have enough liquid to carry you around the track. Today we are at Zwartkops Raceway. Now, during the period 1988 to 1995, Zwartkops Raceway proved beyond doubt that the Pretoria Centurion venue was viable. The facility comprised of a 2.5 kilometer in length international standard racetrack. Now, our celebrity has been around the block when it comes to our screens. From comedy to drama, racing at Zwartkops today is no one but beauty herself. Ladies and gentlemen, your hand in mine for Mila Guy. Mila Guy is a South African actress and trained costume designer from Nelspruit who currently lives in Linden, Johannesburg. She is known for roles in films such as Lieber Vater Christmas, Wonderlust, and the Cakenet comedy series Hotel. Her first role in a full-length film was briefly in Ballade vir 'n Enkeling, and after that, she got the role of the babysitter in Cakenet's opera series Binnelanders. Mila Guy currently plays the role of Lana in the SABC2 soapie Sewende Laan. I think it's time to hear what Johanna has to say about what else we have in store for you today.
Thank you, Donovan. I'm looking forward to today's program, not only to meet Mila, but to make sure that our loyal viewers get the best entertainment they deserve. Today, we see Mila behind the wheel of a BMW race car. The BMW Car Club was founded in 1981 when the BMW Club of Southern Africa was founded in Johannesburg, representing cars and motorcycles. The BMW Car Club hosts a variety of events that includes gymkhanas, breakfast runs, time trials, and a racing series. The BMW Car Club Racing Series was born from this in 2011 and has grown from strength to strength, with at times over 40 cars, strong fields. It's now time to introduce you to our celebrity, Mila Guy. Mila, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's an honor for us to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's so nice to be here.
Have you ever done something like this before?
Not at all. I always wanted to, but I think I'm quite scared. Like when I got here, I was like, it's really happening.
And are you nervous?
I don't know. I think there's a pressure now, like because the cameras, and I'm like, is it gonna? I don't know.
And your expectations?
I just don't want to flip the car or do something silly. I just want to see if I can do it actually. Yeah.
Well, to make sure you have a great time, it's time for your safety brief.
Woo, yay. Thank you.
Up next, let's go and find out what Mila Guy can do at the Zwartkops racetrack with the Bridgestone BMW Racing Series.
Mzansi, new spectacular singles brought to you by Roman's Pizza. Zihamba ngama 1-1. One single large margarita, only $63.90. One single large pepperoni deluxe, only $74.90. One single large 4-in-1, only $94.90. One single large sweet chili chicken, only $98.90. Nizwile. Order online at romanspizza.co.za. We deliver or you collect. Roman's Pizza, best value.
Thanks for joining us once again on Racing with Celebs. For this episode, we are with Mila Guy at the Bridgestone BMW Club Racing Series at the Zwartkops Raceway. You can see the competitors getting their cars all ready as we get ready to head out on track for the first time of asking. You can see a list of drivers there. Mila Guy, she'll line up in the number 11 with Alan Hillingen in the number 27, Neil Reynolds in the 57, then comes the 82 of Gampath, number 92 of Fedetto, then Gals in the 55, Herbst in the 733, 224 rather I should say is Gemiero, Guvia in the 335, Mia in the number 2, and then Lemprecht in the number 96. So the drivers have the green flag waved and they head down to the first corner for the first time of asking. Of course, it's the number 11 that we're looking out for, and that is just going through your screen now. The touring machine, that is Mila Guy. She is behind the wheel of that car. As you can see, the drivers taking it very gingerly through those first corners as they just get themselves acquainted. Riding on board here with Mila Guy as well. You can see her feeding the wheel through these corners and then getting back onto the power. This, of course, is a very difficult challenge being out on track. Not only is it difficult being out on track for the first time, but it's difficult being out on track with other competitors. You've got to get used to things like racing lines, braking points, turn-in points, etc. And it's all very, very difficult to keep an eye out on, especially when you've got another 6 or 7 cars out on track all fighting for the same piece of tarmac. Here we ride on board with Neil Reynolds then in the number 57. He's got some close company in front of him. Let's see what he's going to be able to do then. Looks like he's closing up on the back of Bernard de Gilvia then. A move being made, meanwhile, just in front of him as they come through the right-hander on the infield section. And that is the number 733 of Nicholas Herbst just going past in his E46 330i. Makes his way through. Nicely done there. Next target will, of course, be the number 11. That, of course, is Mila Guy, who has now had a significant gap broken to her into the final corner. Pressure being put on Guy there. Is she going to relent to it? Not quite there. Side by side now as Herbst tries to go the long way around the outside of de Gilvia, then for track position, coming down the start-finish straight into the first corner and makes the move stick. Nicely done there. So up a position we go for Nicholas Herbst then. You see the field going through those first couple of corners, closing up on one another as they take it easy through there. Here we are on board with Carlos Gemiero, the 224 through the right-hander. Just in front of him there is the number 92 of Fabio Fedetto. He's in one of the newer machines actually, in the BMW M4, the F82. Everyone else is in like an E46 or an E36, so a late 90s or an early noughties car. That F82 is definitely one of the newer machines, a late 2010 car, one would say, or at least an early 2010 car at the very minimum. Through the long sweeping right-hander we go as we climb up the hill into that stadium section once again here at Zwartkops, and it looks like Neil Reynolds is going to put a bit of a move here on Mila Guy. Later on the brakes he goes, and Mila now demoted down further one more position. So through there we go, nicely done indeed. In the background, lots of side-by-side racing action. Mila Guy, if you're not familiar with her, she's a South African actress and a trained costume designer from Nelspruit, who currently lives in Johannesburg, known for her roles in films such as Wanderlust and Kijknet, the comedy series Hotel, which was released back in 2016. So through into the final series of corners we go. Once again, a bit of smoke actually coming from the back of Mila's car there. Just got to keep an eye on that. Hopefully it's not a technical problem that's slowing her down here. And hopefully she can keep it on the straight and narrow. Meanwhile, you can see there, very close indeed for the 335. Trying to find his way past. But not able to do so was Bernard de Gilvia there. Meanwhile, lap 5 out of 8 we are now on. The top two drivers having pretty much romped away with this one. As you can see, there is the 733 of Nicholas Herbst, who is doing a really good job out there on track here so far. Coming over the brow of the hill, hard on the brake into that stadium section, really beginning to push now in these mid to later stages. Now they've got heat into the tyres and the brakes. Where is Mila going to be though? There she is, second in your shot as you see, just coming through that long banked right-hander there now. And if you think she's going slowly, well, like I say, being out on track is a very, very difficult thing to imagine unless you're actually in the seat yourself. As down the inside goes Bernard de Govia then, in his E36 328i, moves up a position. And Mila now moving down the order slowly as this race begins to come into its more climatic stages then. Onto the left-hander and onto the start-finish straight. Here is the number 57. That's Neil Reynolds, of course, who is dominating this race so far. Doing a really good job there out in front. Here we are on lap 7 out of 8, a little bit further back. That's the number 96, the blue machine that you can see now. That's Sean Lamprecht. He's only in a 318 turbo, but it's keeping pace with the rest of the field, and he's able to keep the number 2 of Andreas Meyer behind him. So far, at least. Well, this race is not over yet, so let's see whether he's able to hold on to that one until the checkered flag does begin to fall. Here we are on board once again with Mila Guy, on to the final lap, looking over in her mirrors. Getting a bit more confident. I bet she's having such a thrill there because there's nothing that quite competes to driving a race car on a track. Look at that lunge there as well from the number 2. That's Andreas Meyer going straight down the inside, later on the brakes, and he's really putting out all the stops in the closing stages. You can see the aerodynamics there, the diffuser and the rear wing giving him a lot more grip in corners like this, and indeed in the fast sweeping corners as well. He'll have better mechanical grip and better aerodynamic grip as well. Riding on board we are then through into the final series of corners. What a great race it has been for Mila Guy. She's driven very, very well indeed in her first ever motor race. Over the timing line she comes to take the checkered flag then. A fantastic result, and I'm sure that she will be very pleased with that. Let's get race 2 then underway. Looks like it's going to be a rolling start for this one here then at the Zwartkops Raceway. Let's see what's going to happen to our drivers then. So through the final sector, you can see Mila Guy. She is on pole position once again, closely followed by the retaining field. The green flag though is waved. The race gets underway and down towards the first corner. The lead is already changing hands, and that looks like it was the number 733 of Nicholas Herbst who was getting himself into the race lead. Then comes the number 2 of Andreas Meyer, who's closely behind Mila Guy, and Mila Guy still sitting in second position. Into the hairpin bend they trundle now. Again, taking it very easy on these opening few laps is Mila at the moment. Opening few corners, I should say, rather, on this opening lap through the right-handed king. Good commitment through there, I've got to say, not lifting off the throttle there too much, which is important. Down in towards the right-hander, you can see some moves being made. Riding on board here with Neil Reynolds in the number 57. Just in front of him is the number 27 to the right-hand side of your picture. And going the long way around the outside there. Nicely done. That was Alan Hilligan who lost a position then. On the brakes they go, and Hilligan now going down the inside of a couple of cars. Is he going to be able to make 2 in 1 into that right-hander? He's certainly thinking about it. Side-by-side action. They go, and Hilligan does indeed get that position, and now it looks like Neil Reynolds in the blue and white machine is also losing out there, by the looks of things, to the number 82 of Varnish Ganpath, who has found his way past in the E46. So in towards the final series of corners we go. No such problems being stuck behind traffic for Nicholas Herbst. He is romping away with this one after getting the lead at the first couple of corners. There he is. You can see him just in the forefront of your shot in the silver car. And through into the left-hander we go. In fact, it actually may not be Nicholas Herbst. It might actually be the 335 of Bernard de Govia, just having a look at the livery there. Very similar design of cars. And I think it might actually be de Govia who is now leading the way in this 335. Here is Carlos Guerrero then, on board the number 224, through the right-handed hairpin, back onto the power. You can hear that straight 6 working away. Neil Reynolds, though, in front of him. able to pull out an advantage, significantly more straight line speed that he has. Lap 3 out of 8 we're on, so we're coming up towards the halfway stage then here at the Zwartkops Raceway. Late on the brakes here for Neil Reynolds down the inside of Alan Hilligan. Does he manage to make the move stick into the right-hander? Yes, he does. You can see in the forefront there as well, the number 2 in the multi-coloured BMW. That is Andreas Meyer, who is going toe-to-toe then with the 335 of Bernard de Gulvia then. So through up the inside as they still continue to run side by side with one another. Fantastic driving. What a great spectacle we've got here at the Zwartkops Raceway. So Mila Guy now is, of course, ahead of Bernard de Gulvia then as they come over the timing line to complete another lap down into that first corner. You can see Neil Reynolds there looking very close up the inside of the number 2 of Andreas Meyer and going through. De Gulvia, though, really beginning to close onto the back of Mila Guy here now. And let's see whether he is going to attempt to repass her before too long. Here we are on lap 5 out of 8. You can see this field really beginning to bunch up now, and here comes number 2 of Andreas Meyer. Once again, a late lunge down the inside, closely followed by Reynolds, and also number 96 of Sean Lamprecht in the blue machine following them through. So 3 positions lost there for the number 11 of Mila Guy. Damage limitation for her then in this race as they come in towards the closing stages, and now these drivers can squabble amongst one another here. Coming through the long left-hander. They go and into the final series of corners. BMW Clubs Africa, this is the umbrella organisation for this championship. Can be traced all the way back to 1981 when it was formed in Johannesburg, representing both cars and motorcycles. Became a member of the International Council in 1983 and 1984. And you can see it does provide some very exciting racing. So if you fancy getting yourself involved in this and you're looking at it on track and thinking, I fancy a bit of close racing like that, and I've got a BMW that I don't mind stripping out the interior and putting a roll cage in, maybe this is the championship for you. Here is Sean Lamprecht then in the closing stages, all over the rear gearbox of Neil Reynolds then. So let's see whether Lamprecht is going to be able to find his way past. He's in the slipstream, he's coming down in towards the right-handed kink. He's got track position, he's got the inside line, and he has the place then. So nicely done there for Sean Lamprecht. Moves up a position at the head of Neil Reynolds, but is Reynolds going to be able to fight back in the closing stages? Not quite at the moment. Meanwhile, here is Alan Hilligan trying to stem one down the inside of the number 82 of Varnish Gampath. Not able to find a way through on that occasion, but certainly looking very racy indeed as they come in towards the closing stages. Then here we go down the inside for the 335. That's Bernard de Gulvia ahead now of Mila Guy. Nicely done there. Clean move, and Guy, of course, doing a really good job of just having good spatial awareness around her here as well. That's the crucially important thing. The checker flag, though, is out. A fantastic race there. Let's see what Mila has to say.
It was unbelievable, really. I'm very hot and sweaty. Yeah, it really takes a lot of focus and everything out of you. Like, your whole body works, you're focusing, you're not even looking at the speed, you're just going and you're like trying to get those turns. So race 1, I thought I would be more scared in race 1, but it wasn't, because everyone was driving with me. But then race 2, I felt like, because I did race 1 not too bad, race 2 it was like more pressure. So I don't know, I actually preferred race 1, but it was really nice. Like, I want to learn more like advanced driving course, really like when to brake, when not to brake, because now I'm a left braker and a right petrol. So yeah, I keep wanting to brake because I'm scared, and I would want to get rid of that fear, you know, just letting go and just turning and putting petrol. Yeah, because there were a few turns when I was like, okay, I have to try not brake now and then just do the petrol, and it's fine. Obviously, nothing happens, but it's the fear that kicks in every time.
Let's catch up with Mila Guy straight after the break.
We are back with our celebrity for today, Mila Guy. Mila, you are part of the Sewende Laan family. How did you end up in Sewende Laan?
Well, I started at the end of Jan in 2020. which is very nice. Like I've auditioned before but didn't get the role, and then this role came along, Lana, and I got it, and yeah, I'm very fortunate to be part of the team. Like it's so nice working there. It's stable income. Yeah, and you get to do what you love every day.
I've seen that some of the scenes that you do, it's quite intense. How do you prepare for such a part?
Well, there was this one storyline where I hang off a building, and it was I don't know how anyone can hang off a building like this, but you do it, and they build a wall for you, and there's special effects, and you try just get yourself into that space of like how you would have felt if you were doing something like that. Even if it doesn't feel realistic for you, you try make it as convincing as you can for the viewers. Yeah.
And being an actress, what do you don't enjoy about it?
The auditions and then waiting around for the answer. Is it a yes? Is it a no? And sometimes they don't even tell you, so you're like, did I get it? And then you see it on TV and you're like, I didn't. It wasn't for me. So yeah, so that's not always fun. But other than that, everything's nice.
And while on set, what was one of the most funniest things that ever happened?
Sure. I think a lot of funny things happen. I can't even remember because it's especially in soapy, it's so dramatic and it's so like it's everyday life, but it's extreme, it's heightened. So sometimes you're just like, why am I saying this? Or like this one line I had to go, ons ore is bietjie seer van al die oomsie doof doof, and you're like, how do I even say that without sounding like a loser? So sometimes dialogue can be very interesting in how you make it real and to convey it to the audience so they believe it. Yeah.
And you've done in TV, drama, film, and now of course soapy. Which one do you enjoy most and why?
People always ask this. I don't know. I love it all, but I really do love film. I think it's so special when you get to go away for 5 weeks and make something big and then to watch it on the big screen. I think it's the most fun. I think it is. But every genre is nice, and there's something different about every genre that I really do like and appreciate.
If you can give a message to young up-and-coming actors, actresses, what will your message be to them?
Don't take no for an answer, as in don't let it discourage you. Keep working at it. It's not a no forever, it's a no for now. So take it and what you can learn from it and build from that, and then try again. You can always try again. Yeah,
perfect. Mila, thank you for your time today. We had a lot of fun and I hope that you had it too.
But it was really nice. Like, it was a very cool experience.
Donovan, take us home.
Next week on Racing with Celebs. Catch all the action on Ignition TV, DSTV channel 189.
It's sad but true. It's time for us to say goodbye until we catch each other again for another feel-filled episode of Racing with Celebs. For more information on the series, Celebs, or our sponsors, please visit our Facebook page Racing with Celebs or download our mobile app Racing with Celebs from the Google Play Store or the Apple iStore. Till next time, goodbye, Asya.